Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Magnum Opus. Now, as you see here, this is a game I played against a user whose name is Hampovsky. Hampovsky and I have played before. He's from Tunisia. He streams on his Twitch channel Hampov. Now, I'm not saying by any means this is the greatest game I've ever played, but this is the highest rated opponent I've ever played in a blitz game online, or actually in any game. I've never played anyone who was really over 2200. So, online or over the board, just this is the highest rated opponent I've ever played. Um, and I was on I was on a streak. I played a couple rapid games in a row, just 10 minutes per side, and I got done. And I was playing some of the new bosses that chess.com brought out because I was like, all right, I'm on an 8 game win streak. I'm gonna end my night on a win streak. So I quit playing and I went to go play some boss because it doesn't matter if you win or lose there. And in the middle of my first game with the bot, Hampovsky sent me a challenge, a 3 minute unrated game. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get my butt handed to me, but I'm gonna give it the best shot. And so now I'm gonna, go move by move, kind of how this game went, and the good and the bad of it all. Um, this is, like I said, this is by far not my best game, and this is gonna be far from Hampov's best game. So let's jump right into it. He plays D4. Uh, London, Queen's Gambit, just a million things that can be played. I've had a coach. My coach has taught me the King's Indian before, so I start knight f6. Now you have the Trompowsky. You can still go for this. I got this, and still a million different openings here. But he goes for knight c3, which is kind of a start of like a Jobava London, which I believe is what he was playing. It's arguably the better alternative to the standard London, especially at higher levels. So he goes knight c3. I play g6, looking at fianchetto, quick. Now I play d6 for a couple reasons. It's gonna enable this in the future. It prevents any sort of fork attempt here. So I play that. He cuts his bishop out. Bishop here because I'm gonna castle and keep my king safe. And he goes here. This is a very common idea. After takes, knight takes, rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes, opens up the king side, and very unsafe if you castle into that. So I went ahead and prevented all of that by playing a simple h5. Now, g4 cannot be played because you would just take too many times, takes, and then queen would have to take, and with the bishop here doesn't make a difference. So he plays knight here, just developing, getting his pieces out, knight f3. I played knight bd7. Very common idea for me, mainly because knight b6 just runs into d5 for my opponent, and I don't want to allow that. If now he goes d5, I can just play c6 and undermine it, and keep my knight behind the pawns. He plays bishop out, putting pressure on the f7 square. Also, there's nothing to really thwart it, nothing to kick it around. So if I wanted to kick it, I have to go here, and then he just goes here. But so a6 b5, and then he just goes bishop b3. So I play an immediate c5. c5 is to undermine his center. It is bad for white to take on c5 because you're losing a center pawn, you're losing your fight for the center, and if takes, then the knight can recapture. It doesn't have to be the pawn, which is another reason I put the knight on d7 instead of c6. Hampov does take, and I was very surprised when he took. I don't know if you can see the eval bar or not. You can. Okay, so it goes from plus 0.3 for white. It's an inaccurate move. It's a mistake, and the bar rises for black. So I recapture the knight, best move, and he plays the immediate b4, kicking my knight. And I was like, okay, that weakens this whole diagonal for him. And I figured if I could go here, trade these knights off, I would get here with tempo. And sure enough, that's what I do. I move forward, best move in the position. Now, as you see, the eval is plus. It's -1 for black, which is good. Black is minus, white is plus. So it's -1.1 in black's favor. He takes, I take. Again, the threat is to take the knight. So he slides out of the way. I give a check, which honestly just wins a pawn. But I don't want to risk too much, so I go in. Oh shoot! Let me get back. I go and I pin the knight because my bishop can't be pushed on, essentially. And then, there was this move, and I saw it, and I didn't know how to really respond to it. And it is bishop takes, if king takes, check here, and then king here, and then takes the knight. Or takes the knight. And I wasn't crazy about that. I went ahead and went bishop here. I probably should have gone bishop here just to close all that off, or pawn here. Well, then this, yeah, sure. But I also didn't want to keep my bishop trapped in jail for most of the game. But he does it. He takes. I slide over because I don't want to lose the knight. He takes this pawn. I take the knight, hitting the queen. As you can see, it's just super good for white right now. There's just tactics everywhere. Well, you can't even really take here because this fork would win the queen, which I was kind of hoping for, but he took back with the pawn. I gave the check anyway. He slid out of the way, and I play rook g8, pinning the bishop. Unfortunately, I missed bishop h6. And I saw this, and I thought for a second, as you can see, the time difference, just 46 seconds, I still have a minute and a half left. And I thought for a second, and I was like, well, if I pull the bishop back, he's going to take the knight. I can take the bishop, but then there's like just a million things I don't like about that position. I know this is still hit, but then he's getting his king out to safety, and there's not really much I can do. I lose my knight, so there's no more, there's no threat here. So I block with the rook. The worst of the, it's not great. Look, I'm already in a losing position. Rook g7 is the second computer move. The second best move according to Stockfish. He moves this way, which is it's fine. I play e5, getting my queen out. That's all that move does. Get my queen out and prevents, any push here. So he takes, I take, and then he plays rook over, and as you can see now, it's super winning for me again. I play the best move. It's a great move according to chess.com's little stuff here. King over, and what I fail to realize in this position is that the king cannot move. The king is completely stalemated right here. I was scared of taking the bishop and then the king moving somewhere, moving like here, or going here, and it doesn't work. There's no way for the king to move because of the knight. And so I didn't take. I gave another check, and once he moved forward, I can't give a check here. I can't take this because of recapture. I can't give a check here. I can't give a check here. Can't give a check here. Can't take the rook. Hey, wait a minute. No, yeah, because there's no check. Yeah. So if like takes, takes, I was like, oh, there's a fork right here though. No, there's not. It's just there's not a fork. There's just like queen up hits the knight, and I'm in a lot of trouble there. And I thought for I don't know how long here, but I had to think for 4 seconds on this. Just thinking that I can't let anything get away. So I immediately give up all my advantage. He moves, and I know I have a knight, bishop, and rook. The rook is yet to get in the game, but I have knight, bishop, rook. And I was like, okay, if I can get 2 pieces for my queen, I can trust knight, bishop, and rook versus queen and rook. I like two pieces for a queen. So I take the bishop, he takes, I take back. He gives me a check with the queen. I slide to the H file. Seems safer. Not a whole lot of play here. So he plays queen g3. I went rook f8. My threat is to take here. That's all I'm threatening. That's all I have. My bishop is in jail. It's just, I mean, I can take this pawn at some point, but right now, my bishop's in jail. My knight is kind of stuck. I mean, it's going to take a couple moves for it to get back into the game. And then he makes an insane move that, after he made it, I didn't think. Like, he made this move, and I, like, I did my plan. Played rook g1. I'm now pinning the queen. He can take, I can take, and I have two pieces for rook, and he got 1, 2, 4, 5 pawns, and I have 5 pawns. So we're even in pawns. But you know, this is gonna get taken. You can threaten my knight, but then like check, and it's safe, and he can't get into the position, and the rook's not gonna be able to get anywhere. So I was feeling good, but he didn't take my rook. Instead, he moved here, and I said, okay. I'm like, that's fine, but now there's a bigger problem. Because if I take the queen and he takes with the rook, I have a check here that's going to win the rook. And if I take here and he takes with the king, I have a check here that can pick up a pawn. Which, I mean, sure, pawns are pawns, but then I would be up, 2 pawns. Which, I mean, he doesn't have to go anywhere. I mean, he could just walk here, but now his rook's in jail. So I take, and I don't know what his plan was here. But he took back with a pawn. And just the same as if he were taking the rook this way, now the fork is the other way. And in this position, Hampovsky, rated 2,500 in blitz, resigned. And I, a 1,200, almost about 1,300 in blitz, did not play chess for the rest of the night. He did not try to. I mean, there's no counterplay. Like, there's here, takes, here. I take this pawn, and it's 4 pawns versus 5. But you can, like, step up. I go here, and he has no way to break into my position. Because all his pawns are split. There's nothing. They're not supported by anything. So I was ecstatic. Like I was like, there's no way I can lose this, being up, a bishop, and he has 4 pawn islands. Like, all I have to do is like run pawns like connected together all the way up the board. Like, let's say for instance, he goes here, trying to get in here. I just go here. He can never take this pawn. He can never get to these pawns. He has no pawn breaks. He can't move this pawn. So if he goes here, and I go, well, shoot, I can go here. You can go here, but then I just go here. And after takes, push here. And this pawn's gonna run. But let's say before let's say he doesn't. Before he does that, he goes here, anticipating doing this and being able to protect his pawn. You're here. Oh, sorry, he wouldn't do that. Anticipating my move. So he goes there. I go here. I'm now winning this pawn. And he goes here. I go here. Takes. I just go here. He goes here to protect his pawn, but I'm still just running, and there's nothing he can do. There's nothing fast enough. So it was completely winning. There was no way he was gonna get in, get to me, win my stuff, and promote anything. But I had multiple threats. This over here with my king coming up and in. So honestly, I wouldn't even have to worry about this stuff over here. So here, here, here. If you went here, I go here and I just win. And there was nothing he could do. It was a win from the start. Hampovsky, shout out to you. He's got a YouTube channel. I'll try to link it in the description. But I was just so excited over this. This was a great win for me. I don't know. I don't know how I did this. I've not been playing well over the board lately, but man, this got me going. We'll see you guys in the next video.